As you can see from the title, this is my FM19 plans video. I wasn't originally planning on releasing one of these types of videos for my channel, but just for one reason or another, and a few different reasons I guess, I decided maybe I might as well do one. With the beta release, the game, what's that, about 2 weeks away now, something like that. I took it as a reason to both get my ideas locked in, for my own mind, to start preparing, but also just to put it out there, what I'll be doing, and for those sort of reasons really. So I won't be doing the new features of FM video. Frankly, they've been done to death already, and probably at definitely at a much quicker speed than I've been able to get them out. I've had a quick look at some of the features, not overly too much detail, because I actually prefer to discover them sort of organically on my own, playing the game for the first time. And that's what I've done pretty much every year. I never really look too much into that. Same with FIFA, other games I play, I don't look too much in features and stuff. And there's nothing there that's going to stop me buying the game or playing it again, so I might as well wait and experience it, for new. As we get a bit closer now, I might have a little bit of a look, just so I know what I'm walking into a little bit and not going in too blind, but not overly too much. I want to experience it as and when it happens. So now on to the plans. For my beta save, I'm sure I won't be the only person doing this, and there's probably would have been someone mentioned they're doing it and putting it out there that I may have missed. I'm not too sure. I haven't seen it that I can remember, but it probably will happen. But I'm going to do Arsenal. Possibly showing the thumbnail on the screen here. I mean, I might try and do a few different thumbnails for every episode if I can this season, rather than the Shakhtar one, which was the same one every time. But I'm not too sure. The reason for this save is kind of twofold. Number one, I am an Arsenal fan, and so I do regularly, most games, if not every game, I'll do a save at some point where I manage them. So I thought I might as well do it as my beta, get it out of the way, and it gives me sort of a chance to play with the higher tier of players, so Premier League players, players that you can attract into the Premier League, because my main save, which I'll get onto shortly, is very much not going to be that. So it gives me that opportunity to experience those better players and higher level signings early on. Yeah, that's kind of what I've written. I'm sort of kind of not scripted, but going off key points here, and I've just noticed this. My key point I've already touched on. Yeah, so my main save is going to be sort of lower depths of the football pyramid. So managing Arsenal gives me that higher level game early on and get it out my system, so to speak. And I guess there's also kind of a third reason. It will fit nicely into a one season format, which the beta probably will cover. It's about 2 weeks or so, I think, between the beta and the full game coming out, so I don't have to worry about getting too in-depth into a full game challenge, and it is a save that I would probably just carry on away from the camera myself, just my own offline save. So, and I always do it. I did it this year. I mentioned it in quite a few episodes throughout the case. I was trying things out in the Arsenal save that would maybe carry across into the Shakhtar save or something like that, so it gives me that kind of idea. So now on to the main save. My first idea was a rough copy of the screenshot I'm probably showing below at this stage, and it was going to take charge of UD Ibiza, Union Deportivo Ibiza, who this season actually got promoted, I think, into the pro leagues or lower leagues of Spain, and they've also got that former Italian international striker, is it Marco, I think, Borriello. He's among their ranks this year, and football in Ibiza has been a bit up and down pretty much forever. A lot of opening and closing down of clubs and stuff like that. I guess it's quite hard to manage in the Spanish format when a lot of it is mainland. Mallorca are a team that have struggled in recent years, I seem to recall. Las Palmas have sort of been up and down a little bit. But Ibiza is pretty much my happy place in the world. I'm fortunate enough to have been to amazing places in the world, sort of Thailand, Maldives, Dubai, but I'd still consider probably Ibiza to be my favourite one of them all. And not just the nightlife and the clubs, which when I was going probably was that sort of age and that sort of stuff, but more the way of life, how relaxed I feel there. I haven't actually been for a few years, unfortunately, but I'm hoping next summer will be a possibility, and I'm hoping to actually take my young daughter there too as well, let her experience it for the first time. She'll be old enough to enjoy it as well. So that was that kind of going to be my idea. But unfortunately, it has been scrapped, as another YouTuber has recently announced he's going to be doing it, and even went a little step further. He had some custom kits and etc. made. But I'd urge you to check him out. His name's FM Beardy Man, something like that. But I'll pop a link to his description below, because I do urge you to check his channel out and his Ibiza save out during the FM19. I don't know if he'll be doing it for the beta or for his main save. I'm not too sure. Possibly covering both. I don't know. But I didn't think it'd do either of us any favours, both doing the save. We're both relatively new and early sort of growing channels, so we wouldn't want one of us to hamper the other one doing it. So I thought I'd just do my own thing. I did have a second plan, which is kind of where we've gone to now. So my other option, I had also started preparing it, so it wasn't too bad, but it's going to be my still semi-local team. Probably is my closest local team actually, but it was when I lived, before I moved last year, my local team, and where I've been to see a lot of football when I've not been able to get to Arsenal, which has become more increasingly common in the recent years. But when I first moved out with my wife, they were my local team. They were where I'd go. Yeah, so technically they're not, I mean, where I live now have a team there, but they're probably a little bit further to get to than the team I'm going with here. So the team is Colchester Athletic. They're currently in I think it's the Bostik Premier League, which I think is about the 7th tier in England, somewhere like that. So I'm not sure if that will be in the game from the off, or if I do need a custom database, so I might have to wait for that to come out. I'm not too sure. Time will tell on that. In my mind, when I was planning this save originally, it was going to be my number one idea. I was hoping to accompany it with like a vlog type aspect and try and get some home games, possibly even some away games, but unlikely, and just vlog them as well. It's still a possibility, still something that I'm working through in my mind, but without any real sort of backbone to it just yet. It might be something that evolves through the course of the season. What I think that swayed me away from this save a little bit more towards the Ibiza one was firstly that Ibiza, I don't think we're in the game last year. There was an Ibiza team, but they're not the one I know, and I'm pretty sure it's Union Deportivo or an equivalent of them at some point, where I think I've been to their ground when I was over there good few years ago now, nearly 10 years ago now. The last time, or the first time I went there, I think something like that. I can't remember exactly. But it was Dr. Benji's Thames save, and he went through a lot of these divisions in his Thames save this year, and he was there it was a long time ago, so it won't be too unfresh, and there probably will be quite a few other people doing similar level, similar tier saves, so I don't think it will be too much of a problem. And he did also struggle saying Cole Shorten, I seem to recall. I'm not even going to try and say how he said it. Yeah, he slaughtered it a little bit, so I had to put that right. I'm going to release a video just before the save starts, for real, I guess, and just do a little bit more info on the team, bit of background, bit of history, and sort of covering some of the ideas I have to accompany the save, I guess. Not so much the vlog, but more in terms of the direction that I want to take the team and things like that. Obviously upwards, but in the way I'm going to do it, I've got a few ideas. This will actually show how good at the game I actually am, because obviously Shakhtar turned out to be not easy, but a little bit of a stroll in terms, certainly the league. We got the Champions League in the end. We did become very dominant, and it's been a long time since I started a save in this game so low down the leagues. Very often I think the lowest I'll go. It's certainly the league, the top 4 leagues in England is probably the lowest I've ever been. Don't tend to go much lower than that, certainly the last couple of years. I'm really hoping the channel can kick on this year, get a bit of growth. And this year I'm ideally hoping to try and set up a bit of a workspace at home that I can record in properly, and hopefully get a bit of a camera going as well. It's a bit difficult at home really. I have a very small window which to play and record my Football Manager stuff, and also it's a bit awkward. There's not really a space. I literally just do it in my front room, prop the laptop up on my lap and record with the microphone in my hand pretty much. I haven't really got a desk or anything like that at the moment. I haven't really got the space for it, but I'm hoping I can try and incorporate something somewhere into it so I can do it a bit better. This video I think will be sandwiching the wrapping of the Shakhtar save, so you'll have seen the 5 years. I'm hoping for a Monday, Wednesday, Friday like my usual schedule. So this you should have seen on the Monday the 5 years in advance. Wednesday should be this one, and then hopefully you'll see on Friday the 10 years in advance, and that will wrap up FM18 for this year, and hopefully be seeing you for FM19 and other video sort of games that I bring out in between during. I was hoping to have a bit more of a break between this series finishing and FM19 starting, but I've had actual break, not actually recording other stuff. I've just been literally just resting and just it's been a bit tough at work and stuff lately, so I've just taken the opportunity to not have to worry about recording anything, whereas I did have a few ideas I wanted to do. I might have time to squeeze one in perhaps, or start one in. I'm not too sure, but we'll see hopefully. That pretty much winds up this video. So if you do have any comments or suggestions on these save ideas, let me know. While you're there, please do, as always, drop a sub to my channel if you haven't already, just so you can keep up to date with the videos that I'm bringing out. Like this video as well, be amazing. Don't have to like this one, but if you've got any ideas, like I say, within the saves I've proposed, let me know. I'll certainly take them on board. And I guess until FM19 drops, or after Friday's episode on Shakhtar, I'll see you for next time. Take care.